And we're live. This is Julien Jean-Pierre from the Royal St.Lucian Seamoss Company. And yes, I know you thought today I wasn't going to be doing the live. And honestly, I almost didn't do it. I'm so busy tonight. I'm so backed up with orders from the sale that we just had. And so I'm here working late trying to get these orders out. People are freaking out. I get it, and I'm sorry. I wish I could have gotten it done sooner, but this is how life is. Um, it is getting done, though. You know what I mean? And so the orders are going to be shipping real fast. People should be getting their stuff real quick. And yeah, all is good in the CMOS world. And so thank you for joining tonight. Um, I'm sorry for again starting a little late, but sometimes it's better late than never, right? So yeah, let me just print this. So you guys are gonna have to excuse me while the label printer is going, and I'm kind of working off the screen here. Why did it print out two? That's weird. Just, warehouse. Sorry. So let's see if there's any questions or comments. Let me know if you guys want to come in as a guest. I'll put the link out right now. I didn't bother doing the clubhouse on it just because I was short for time, and I'd rather I don't know. I just wanted to get it out here, get the orders done, and yeah. Sometimes you have to drop some things to make other things happen. I just put two of the same label. Hate when that happens. Oh, hate wasting labels. So yeah, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just packing up CMOS. I have like maybe 75, 80 orders that I have to get done within the next, I don't know, 24, 48 hours. So just been working on that. Let me see. I had a really, really cool thing happen to me the other day that I wanted to, just talk about or share my experience. I did this really cool thing called breath work. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this guy. I think his name is Wuhan. I don't know. It's not Wuhan. Let me look up the guy because I watched him. There's a show on Vice. Um, Vice breath work, breathing technique. Let me look it up here. Him Hoff. This guy. I'm going to share his video here for a second. So I have a friend who is like a certified health, trainer or whatever. She does like a lot of holistic teachings, herbs and stuff like that. And one of the things that she does is this thing called breath work. And listen, breath work is amazing. Like you want to talk about CMOS? This shit is on another level. Like CMOS can't even well, not to say CMOS can't compare, but like I don't know. Like I went through so many experiences, so many emotions and stuff like that. Like I cried and everything. And then what was really interesting was that afterwards, I had whatchamacallit. I had like I don't know. It's weird. It was like this cleanse. So immediately afterwards, I felt really sort of sick, right? I got the chills, I got these shakes and stuff like that. And I thought I was coming down with some kind of cold or something like that, which was odd, you know what I mean? Because I tend to be very healthy and I don't, what do you say it? I don't really get sick a lot, like very rarely. And so immediately after this, I kind of felt sick and really sort of drained. Like all the energy was kind of pulled out from me. And then the next day, I woke up and I just felt like all the mucus, all the everything just was sort of eliminated from my body, if that makes sense. And so it was like a deep cleanse. That's the best that I can describe it as. And so BG says some people can lose a bit of the tummy weight by practice. I think that I did. I think that a lot of the toxins and a lot of the garbage that I had been holding on to since like the Christmas holidays, um, you know what I mean? It really sort of it was like my body purged it. You know what I mean? And it was awesome. Like I felt, and like right now, after it's kind of over, like I still feel a little weak, but I'm telling you, I feel amazing. Like I really do. I feel like just lighter. My mind is more clearer. Um, just everything. I almost want to try and see if I can incorporate this breath work like once a month or something, because it was so like I don't know how to describe it, like life changing or whatever. And it's just simple breathing. You know what I mean? But at a certain point when I was going through the breathing techniques, like I literally was like I could see visions. I could see like different colors at certain points. My body would just vibrate at like a really high frequency. Um, what else happened? I felt this like energy kind of pushing me into the ground, and like at some point there was this pressure going into my head, and then when it released, it was just crazy. Like I'm telling you, words can't describe the experience that I had. And the girl that was teaching me said that she could feel the energy being she could feel our energies from the group as we all went into this certain state, I guess you could call it, and she said all day she was feeling these emotions that could only be best described as something that was happening from the even from this experience. It was awesome. In fact, maybe I'll show you guys. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the video that I made of the breath work, because I felt it was really cool. Um, Let me see if I can pull it there. Or maybe it's in the downloads. Yes. So let me just share the new screen again, and I'll show you some of the breath work. And I mean, if anybody's interested in doing this, I can set something up with her, and maybe a bunch of people from the Seamoss group can do like try it out. You know what I mean? And maybe I'll talk to her. Maybe I can work out a deal where those that want to try will do like a complimentary session or something like that, so that people can see and experience what this is. You know, hmm. Interesting. Doesn't look like it recorded any of the audio, but see, that's me standing there. You know what I mean? We're shaking around, breathing. here's me lying, doing the breathing techniques, and you really gotta like hear what they're saying in order to kind of like understand um, what what's going on in the video, if that makes sense. Because she's giving us direction, she's telling us like how to breathe and stuff like that. There's like fast paced breathing, you know what I mean? Then there's like a slow pace, deep breathing. It's really cool. And, I really had a great time doing it. Like, I recommend it for anybody that is um, looking to change their health, you know what I mean? In any way. So I'm just selecting these labels to print. So let me know if you guys have any questions about breath work and the breathing technique. Um, yeah, I wish there was sound to it, but it was awesome. I recommend anybody who has a chance to get and look into explore breath work. I think that if you're serious about your health, that it's something that you need to explore because, like I said, it literally, like I could feel my body going through a cleanse, and my mind is lighter, and
Well, there you have it. That was me doing some breath work with Rita. I think her last name's pronounced Savoya, but
here's the
she's a health and
video.
wellness coach out of Mexico. So,
Yeah, sorry, I'll just turn that off video. So yeah, like it was great. I don't even know how to describe it any better than that. Um, it's something that I think everybody needs to explore. I'm actually thinking about trying to talk my partner into us having regular sessions because even when I was doing that, like one of the intentions that I had set was that I wanted to remove procrastination and roadblock. And so one of the things that I've been really procrastinating on was trying to develop. I don't know. I want to try and develop like a Seamoss association. And so but I've been having a lot of blockage on that, and just like, just procrastination, like literally procrastinate, just keep putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. But I know that it's something that I can't keep putting off. Eventually I put it off. One, either someone's going to do it before me, or I'm just going to miss that point of which people are. I mean, after a certain point, you talk about something. If you don't take action, people are going to look at you and be like, "Oh, well, this guy's just full of shit." You know what I mean? This is never going to happen, and everybody's looking for a reason to second guess what you're doing. So. Um, it's important that, like, if you try to say something, you don't get distracted and not end up doing it. You know what I mean? So that was one of the breakthroughs that I had during that session, was that I came up with a lot of ideas and plans on how best to go about this CMOS group, like this association that I'm trying to put together. And I feel like it's something that's really needed for the industry, because um, there's a lot of people like into CMOS, but there's not a lot of, not to say professionalism, but like, for example, like not so many people have LLCs. Not so many people have like insurance on their products. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? The stuff that, like, even having taxes done, right? We can, like, if we had a big enough group, we can all pool together and basically hire one accountant that could do all the books for everybody, and we would pay less than if we went to one account. Everybody went to their own accountant, if that makes sense. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to save and avoid. is these unnecessary costs that are reoccurring. I mean, just for example, take alone the shipping. One of the things that I have no proof of this, but one of the things that I believe that's been a problem with the CMOS industry or the business is that there's a lot of people out there that want to um, get it directly from the source, right? They want to go and buy right from a person in St. Lucia. Now, the problem that comes with that is that if you're trying to ship less than, say, if you're trying to ship less than 100 pounds, whether you buy 5 pounds, 20 pounds, or 100 pounds, when you ship that, it's going to be almost the same cost, right? And so it's like, if you're buying 20 pounds and say the shipping is $100. Now, if you're shipping 100 pounds, that's one extra dollar on your cost, right? Which is negligible, right? But if you're 20 pounds, that's $5 on every pound. And so to some people, that's like, how do you put it? It's like it's not feasible. You know what I mean? It's going to be too expensive. And what I see people doing, is they're now going back to the farmer, the person they're buying, and be like, "Oh, can you do a better price? The shipping is too expensive." Blah blah blah. Now, what if we put all our resources together and ship the shipment one time into Canada or into North America? You know what I mean? We pay one shipping fee, one clearance fee, one, customs duties, all that kind of stuff. We'd probably even get a cheaper rate because we're shipping, like say we ship 5,000 pounds. I can negotiate a better rate on that. You know what I mean? Than if I was shipping 1,000 pounds or 100 pounds. You know what I mean? Especially if we're doing it on a regular basis, right? And so it's these little things. Like, for example, another example is, imagine we put all our resources together and we can hire an in-house graphic designer who like does everybody's graphics designs. And I'm telling you, for a nominal fee every month, we can all put together and pay them, you know what I mean, enough money to hire someone full time. Like, for example, say we had 1,000 people in the list. Like the CMOS group that we have, the Buyers Club, that's 1,000 people. Imagine we had 1,000 people in the association, and $5 of they had a membership fee, a monthly membership fee, and a portion of that, so even $5, went to hiring someone that does everybody's labels, everybody's graphics, everybody's, you know what I mean, packaging and stuff like that. You could literally pay someone $5,000 a month to do that job. You know what I mean? We like that's enough to hire a full time designer. And if at 1,000 people, everybody would be utilizing that designer. You know what I mean? Like, there's strength in numbers, you know what I mean? And using the power of what we're doing to get leverage to save money so that we're not all paying the same fee, you know what I mean, to do the same job. We're almost like splitting the resources. And so that's some of the ideas that I got when I was under this breathing technique, you know? Hey, Facebook user. It's good to see you. I don't know who that person is that said, "What up, Julian?" because I can't see their name. So if you let me know who it is, you know what I mean? It'd be great. Uh, so, yeah, and I mean, there's still a lot more to work on the idea, but those are some of the ideas and the concepts that I'm trying to like sort of work out, and that I think would be, you know what I mean, like almost that would be the purpose of having a group. Like, if it's not to say better our business, what's the point? Here's another thing: we can all hire. Hey, what's up, Seamoss King? You should come and join on the live. Let me add the what should we call it? Let me add the links so you guys can join. Boom, boom, boom. See, the biggest challenge that I have with doing this, like so far, with trying to I guess organize this association, is that I won't like it's I don't know how to put it in words. It's like I want to make sure that it's fair and that there is like sort of like full transparency and everybody sort of benefits from the group. What's up?
What's going on, man?
I'm there trying to get my work done. Dude, I'm like so behind.
Yeah,
Yeah, so behind.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, it's like I'm really behind the eight ball today, and
Won't
it's
be enough time in the day, man.
there's not. There's literally not. Like I went and received a shipment of Seamoss today. I had to do showings for real estate. You know what I mean? And so it's a nonstop affair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you talking some good stuff though. Uh, I just chimed in. I was just telling my wife. I said, Julian, he must not gonna make it tonight.
Well, it's so funny. I almost didn't, and something was telling me, you know what, bro? Even if you got on there for like 10 minutes, you kind of kept, you know what I mean? Your sort of your commitment, if that makes sense. You know.
Yeah, I was
So
just sitting here for a few minutes checking some messages and emails and stuff, and I seen he was on there. I said, let me pop in for a little bit, man, before I call it a night.
mhm. Yeah, I honestly can't stay here too late either, just because I have the truck, right? Like I rented a U-Haul truck, but I haven't returned it yet, and so I have a ride coming to get me. And
Okay,
I know when the ride gets here, they're not going to want to sit there and let me,
finish up.
yeah, do a live stream. But I think what I might even do is like, pack up, go home, start it again. Why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If people are into it, I can, it's no problem. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I got them dimensions and numbers for you too, man. I just been, you know, I had guys out at work, man. I've been today. I was in the building by myself. I just been working and then coming home tired as shit. I ain't really had time to catch up with you, but I got all the information together for you though.
Perfect. Let's talk about, we'll link up
Yeah,
tomorrow. I'll
yeah,
send you the money so that you can ship it out. Because I'm going to probably need, yeah, I've been doing the sale. I don't know if you saw the sale that I had, but
yeah. Incredible,
yeah, really good sale.
incredible.
A lot
I
of
said,
people.
damn, wish I had 3,000 because I would have spent six. It been good for a minute.
Yeah, man.
That
Well,
that was a perfect opportunity for somebody that was ready right now to make it happen.
and bro, you have no idea how much that helped the CMOS community
Yeah, I'm
because
sure.
there was a lot of CMOS sellers that just, because how it is you're a CMOS, like for the most part, there's like maybe 5, 10 guys that make big purchases on the island and they get it from a lot of the CMOS farmers. But what
Right,
happens sometimes, and I'm not going to say every time, but sometimes there's like, and this is like this in any sort of industry, any sort of group or whatever, there's a little bit of favoritism. Do you know what I mean? And so
yeah,
if there's only so much CMOS to be bought, then there's some people get forgotten. Do you know what I'm
right.
saying? And that's what we saw that was happening. Like a guy came. I don't know if no, I didn't get a chance to tell you this. So the day we decided to make the sale, um, someone came to my partner's house with CMOS,
Mm,
and this my partner didn't even know who this guy is. He just kind of showed up, and he took a transportation. right? Because they hire, like, to get down there, you got to hire a transport, right?
Right.
Because he sucks. So he didn't even have the money to get home. Like, he was so confident that my partner would buy the Seamoss that he risked it all to get there. And,
Mm,
and like, we were in a situation where sales slowed down tremendously.
right.
I mean, like, December was our worst month probably ever, uh,
Mm,
or at least in a long time. And so we were kind of like, fuck, like, what do we do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we felt bad, but it was almost like, our hands are tied too, right?
right.
So we were just like, my partner was like, you know what? Fuck it. Drop the price for 2, 3 days and just sell as much as you can. And we'll
Right.
take every dollar that we make during that time and send it right back to buy more CMOS. So we were able to, in that 48 hours, sell a lot of CMOS. And so that money went right back to the farmers.
Right.
Yeah, like, we sent it right back, and even like basically we pre-bought a bunch of CMOS. So we haven't even received the CMOS. We just kind of gave them money and said, "Here's money for CMOS. When you gotta give it to us, but now you have money for Christmas. Now you have money. You know what I mean?" And even that guy that came to my partner's house, my partner was able to, give him some money so that he can have, a proper Christmas.
Yeah.
All right.
Nah, that's good though, man. I mean, if y'all got y'all bottom line accomplished, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It is crazy right now, man. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
I ain't on here to be the dead horse tonight, man. I seen some of the craziness on the page. You know,
Oh, but you know what's so funny? I like doing that shit. I like shaking the bush because in some ways that's the only way you get these guys to fucking, you know what I mean, have some kind of engagement or some kind of discussion, you know.
yeah,
And what's crazy, like, that just blows my mind is how strong they are in keeping their belief.
yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
when you show them evidence beyond evidence beyond evidence, they still are convinced that you're wrong. And then they turn around and you're like, okay, well, show us your evidence. Crickets. I
yeah,
have yet to see one documentation or, anything beyond what Dr. Sabi has said about CMOS that these guys are like, they're like, isn't it like, how do I say it? Don't you find it suspicious that he's the only one that's been saying that stuff, and that, contrary, all the information is, you know what I mean, like no one's backing up what he's saying.
mm-mm,
Only him, and only those that follow him, and
yeah,
those that follow him aren't willing to look at any information. And it occurred to me on the way home today, because I was driving alone with the CMOS taking the order, right? So, your mind wanders and shit like that.
right,
And the one thing that kind of came to my mind is that these guys will never grow beyond Dr. Sabi. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, their wealth and knowledge, their experience is always going to be limited because they're not looking beyond him. They're like, this is the deity, this is the guy, we don't question anything. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
But
that's,
but but I think that we need to stop um, making it so. Well, I'm not saying that that's personally what I think you do, because you only speak the shit that people bring to your face, right, to your doorstep.
yeah,
But stop making it about Dr. Savy. And what you're saying is true. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, people just you're gonna have people that decide at some point in their lives that they're gonna have an open mind to more than what they've grown to be conditioned to believe, and then you're gonna have those that just they aren't. They're gonna stay the same. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? That's a character trait, man. That shit ain't Dr. Sabi's fault. You know what I'm saying? That
yeah,
that, that that's a character. That's a negative um I don't
You
want
know,
to call it negative, but it's just it's not a good character trait that promote growth at the end of the day.
no. And
So
what's
and on the
yeah,
flip side too, it's about money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and a lot of that shit is jealousy, Julian. You know, people they look and they see who they think is sucking up all the money, all the sales. You know what I'm saying? And they haters, man. And so
but
it's like let me come in and try to sound like I got more sense than a fifth grader, you know, and make this person look non-credible. You know what I'm saying? And like you say, but when you say, okay, well, here's where I'm coming from. Here's why I'm coming from this standpoint, and this is why my perspective is what it is. So explain to me why yours is what it is. Nobody don't never have shit to say.
no.
Just
But
never.
what's crazy is like the point you said about the sucking up the sales. No one's sucking up the sales. There's
We
so
know that.
yeah, there
No.
is so much sales. If
Yeah.
your sales are being sucked up, it's because you're being limited in how you're marketing. Do you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like if you stay in the CMOS Buyers Club, you're only working with the CMOS Buyers Club.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I understand that people are going to take sales from you. I
Yeah.
barely even sell. It wasn't until like the last say 2-3 months that I started promoting in the CMOS, but I let it for everybody else get it. And in fact, there's times where I see an opportunity where I can kind of say, "Oh, hey, I got CMOS," but I'll keep my mouth shut because I want to give everybody else a turn, right?
Yeah.
Especially in they're in that group. But to think that that's the only way place where like you're doing yourself a disservice. Like we've had to talk before. Fucking
Yeah.
sales are everywhere.
Yeah.
Bro, I barely even touch Canada. There is so much opportunity in Canada. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to selling CMOS, there's only like 5 or 6 big sellers in Canada. That alone, right there, it's you know what I mean. It's
Everybody hustle not the same, man. You know.
no,
And like you said, that was an early conversation we had when we first met. And I said that's stupid shit. Like the game is saturated. You like, no, it ain't. You just limited, your exposure. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'll,
point blank, period.
I'll say this: if you knew some of the shit that I'm into, you'd be shocked. You'd be like, "Oh, you're selling CMOS that way, or this is who you're selling CMOS to, and this is how." Like, trust me, most of the sales that we do is not even coming from the group.
Oh well, yeah, but I've been through that. I mean, that shit is this facts. You know what I'm saying? But somebody that's hungry, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear that shit.
Well, then call me up.
If you
Call me
look,
up.
if we could right now, right, dial up certain people, I bet you one thing they wouldn't be doing. They wouldn't be sitting in a warehouse or sitting in a living room with boxes and shit, and you know what I'm saying, doing the shit that you doing or that we do sometimes or that some of the other people do. They wouldn't be doing none of that shit right now.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. And honestly, that's the
Boom,
sort
boom.
of how do you say it? That is the difference between those that make it and those that don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because in any business, not just CMOS business, in any business, you have to you have to have you have to work beyond a certain point. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
if you're watching um, anything on TV, you're not putting enough time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you have time to do all these extracurricular shit, you're not serious about your business.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like in any business that I have done, the only times I've been really successful is when I literally put my life before or the business before my life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where I'm like all day, I'm kind of like, no, I can't do this. Like I don't have any friends really. I don't hang out anymore. You know,
Yeah. But that's
because
what it takes. That's what I'm saying. Until you know, some of us got comfortable hustles. You know what I'm saying? Like shit we used to do, and some of the principles might be the same when you start a new hustle, but the game is still different. and you're not willing to apply. Some people not willing to apply what's needed to the to that new hustle that they in. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, like I deal with the same shit. I'm still trying to you know mold myself differently, and as far as understanding like what it takes to really build a brand and become successful, just doing this. You know what I'm saying? That's the shit you doing right now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I was going to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And I based that shit on, oh, well, Julian ain't doing it tonight. Fuck it. Let me go to sleep. All right, catch it. You know what I'm saying?
Uh
I
huh.
get back to it tomorrow. But you got to be relentless, man. You
Mm-hmm.
know, start
That's
developing some bullet points for yourself. You know, and know why you may not be where you want to be at with your business. And if you just keep sitting and peeking in there waiting for somebody to say they want some Seamoss, especially if you got a lot of it, you gonna have that shit way longer than you want to.
I even question how much people develop relationships with their current customers. Because one of the things that made me really realize something was when I did this sale. Because I
Mm,
literally just called people up and was like, "Hey, what's up?" Like, you know what
right.
I mean? And I had
Mm,
a relationship with them, so I could call them. They weren't like, "Oh, who's this?" You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like, "Hey, Julian, what's going on?" And it's like, "Yeah, I need your help." Blah blah blah. You want to buy some CMOS? And like, I wonder how many people go through their customer list and just call people up and have a conversation with them.
I do that. You know what I'm saying? I do that. I do that. I don't do it consistently, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I do it when I slow down enough and I'm like, damn, wait a minute. You know, it been a little quiet. Let me reach out to some people. But that could come off as disingenuous too. You know what I'm saying? If it's not something you do on a regular basis, you know what I'm saying? It
Mm-hmm.
could just seem like you fishing for a couple of dollars. So, that's one of the things that I realized that I have to really get in tune with being consistent about and making sure that, my clients are good, checking back in with them, seeing how much CMOS they got left, if any, what I'm saying? Because it's all those little things that make a difference. You know what I'm saying with a client,
Mm-hmm.
as far as client retention, anyway.
Yeah. And listen, it's important because even the other day, a situation happened where I had um, I had someone reach out to me to buy CMOS, and something made me think, okay, and I do it a lot of times. Like when you reach out to me, before I kind of engage in the conversation, I'll check out your Instagram page, right? Because I want to see who you are and kind of like what you're about, right?
Right.
And so when I checked this guy's Instagram page, right away I seen that he was buying from someone that I was selling to.
Mm.
And so and here's a like a fucking key thing in business. And I see this as what people well, I don't see this because I actually don't know what everybody's doing, but I suspect that this is something that happens a lot. So the guy calls me and is like, "Yeah, how much do you sell 5 pounds for?" And I'm like, "Okay, 149." Now the person that he was getting it from, he said, I'm paying 170. It's
Mm.
only like a difference of like $30. It's not
Right.
much,
Right.
right? And so when I talked to him, I was like, "Okay, so now the whole time I knew who he was buying from, but I'm asking him questions, right? So what's happening with your other supplier? Are you happy with them? What's the problem?" And they're like, "Oh, well, I'm just looking for a better price, this and this and that." So I basically kind of went to him and said, "Well, look, I'm going to level with you. The person that you buy from, I sell to, and the reality is that by the time I ship the CMOS to you, and you pay for it to come from Canada, it's going to cost you almost the same amount of money as
Right.
if you were just paying this 170 from her." I said,
Mm-hmm.
"If you want a better price, why don't you go back to her and negotiate?" Because I also, one of the things I asked him too is, "How much are you buying per month?"
Mm.
And he said like he buys the 5 pounds 2 or 3 times a month. So I'm like, "Why don't you go back to them and negotiate a price? Like, tell them you want to buy 15 pounds at a time and negotiate a price for 15 pounds
Right.
and get a better price." You know what I mean? And then I went back to her and I said, hey, like this guy is reaching out to me. I told him to go back to you. He's gonna, talk to you about buying more and give a better price. If you do this more for more people, I'll give you a better price,
Right.
right? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense me selling to that person who was buying off her, because ultimately I'm hurting myself,
Mm.
because now she's lost a sale
Mm-hmm.
and she's not buying off me as much as she would.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm saying? So you may think that you gained, but you didn't really gain, because that person I was selling it to, it like, do you know what I mean? Like I wasn't. I'd rather have this person who buys off me consistently a large amount than to risk it to sell to someone just to make a few pounds.
Right.
If
No, I
that makes
told I told from I absolutely get that. I told one of my clients the other day, I said it make more sense for you to buy 5 pounds from me where I can offer you a better price as opposed to you trying to buy 1 or 2 pounds at a time. You know, it's pointless,
yeah,
but the more that you buy, the better price that I could give you. You know what I'm saying? But just like I'm making it worth it for you, you got to make it worth it for me. Because outside of that, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
what's the point? You trying to like whittle me down, you know, over a pound or two of Seamoss to like almost nothing.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you don't want to pay the shipping.
Yeah. Listen, that's something that I see happening with the St. Lucian farmers, is that
Mm.
these guys are all trying to go directly to the farmer to get it, because they feel like, oh, I'm going to get a better price if I go direct. The reality is you're not really getting a better price, because by the
Right,
time you add in all the custom fees and all that other stuff, especially if you're doing less than 100 pounds, like how are you really saving? You're paying more.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And so they go back to the farmer and they're like, "Oh, I can't afford this. This is too much. Can you give me a better price?" And the farmer needs to make fucking sales. Like, you know what I mean? So to him, it's like I'd rather make $5 than no bucks.
mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know, it doesn't have to be that way, dude. These friggin' farmers work hard, like hard. Okay, I can't, like, we're actually going to do some blogs and soon that will go and show the life of a Seamoss farmer and the shit that they go into.
yeah.
Uh, this morning, I had a conversation with my partner, and he introduced me to a guy, you know what I mean, that he's friends with, that goes to the sea. This guy probably walks about 5-6 miles to get to the beach from his home to um, whatchamacallit, 5-6 miles to get to the beach from his home, and he dude has one arm, so he's CMOS farming with one arm.
Mm.
You know what I mean, and like when my partner told me how much he's making, it's like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
that much? Because we were kind of like, look, he needs to come on our team so that we make sure he gets paid properly. No, no, there's more in the thing. And the soursop came today too. So yes, you have your soursop. So I didn't unload the skids. I'm gonna leave it here because it's just too much work right now. Sorry, my ride's here. And,
See,
yeah,
there we go.
sorry, my wife is here. My wife is here. So you hear it's like, my ride. What the fuck?
What you doing with the soursop leaves, man? You selling it?
Yeah. I don't know. I honestly I didn't get that much. I have to, like, yeah. The I think it might most of it might be spoken for, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
But I'll find out. And but we're getting more. Um, I'm not sure why he doesn't send me a lot. I think what it is, we need to send down a vacuum sealer, because the the how do you say it, when we package it, it's like it takes so much space. So 2 pounds takes almost like a box.
yeah,
So we need to find a way to sort of compress it down,
yeah.
so
It's super
that,
light.
yeah, so that it can we can ship more in the CMOS.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will be getting some soursop leaves. But one of the things that I want to start doing soon is start putting people in direct touch with my partner.
Mm,
Because in some ways you could call him up and put the order in, and he'll make sure that it gets done. He'll tell you the price and everything like that.
yeah,
And you know what I mean? Because there's no real reason why you have to go through me directly. You know what I mean?
he right there on the ground.
Yeah, when he's right there, and he can give you the answer like in a minute's time, kind of thing. Yeah. So I'll let you know. But if you want, like, how much sour sop leaves would you want?
Enough, and I, enough, because I had went through somebody else trying to get some, and um, they was gonna give me 500 leaves in the order, but
Uh-huh.
something happened. They said they couldn't get that many dried, and it was gonna take a little longer, so I kind of fell back from it. But I do want to start getting them though.
It's not easy to get the leaves together, to be honest with you. So I get it, because unless you have like a soursop tree farm in your backyard, most times you're going onto people's property to get those leaves, and a
Mm,
lot of people are like, how do you say it? They're not they're not excited about you coming on their property to take their leaves. If that makes sense.
yeah, that's cool. So you ready to get out of there, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I can basically come back. Like I can go back online when I get home. So I'll be home in like maybe 20 minutes. You're
Shit.
probably going to be in bed. I know.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
get it.
But I mean, if I don't talk back to you tonight, I will be giving you a call tomorrow during the day with the information and a couple of other things I wanted to run by you and get some info, some wisdom from you on. So
Yeah, for sure.
I'm I'm out, man, and we'll chop it up tomorrow, man. You go ahead and handle your business, and then I'll link with you tomorrow.
Yeah,
All right,
sounds good.
all right. I'll talk to you in a minute.
All right, take care.
All right, bet.
Yeah, give me 1 minute. I'm just going to answer this question. The ones I usually get, some leaves are brown and doesn't even smell like soursop. Our leaves are actually pretty good. They're really green, and very few of them. I mean, they're not really brown, so to speak. They're more this kind of color, and they smell like soursop, like really strong. I've done a lot of research, and well, not a lot of research. I've done some research, and I've found that a lot of people like really love the soursop leaves from St. Lucia, in particular. About the quality and the strength and the potency is really good. I love it, and yeah, it's good stuff. So I really got to get going out of here. It's 11 o'clock, 20 after 11, but I'm going to rush home. And because I got some stuff to do before I go to bed, I'll probably jump back on the live stream, and we can continue this conversation about CMOS and CMOS related stuff. So thanks those who have stayed here. And Graviola is great too. Have a good night. I got to check Graviola. I'm going to look into that. So yeah, guys, thanks a lot, and hopefully you guys can come back in the next. I'll probably be up in about half an hour. Okay, thanks. Bye. Oh, I gotta end.